Okay, so here I'm going to play a tournament test battle. It's going to be another new tournament, although since it's going through test version, so it's not sure that whether this tournament will come in the main version. Okay, so we have battle map the Silk Road. I have a Confederation opponent, and you see at the start that our base is protected with lots of defensive buildings, and the buildings are with a very good density. There are not much gaps between the buildings, and also there are walls in front of them, meaning that for the least that you cannot use rush attacks to enemy base in this tournament. And if you see, there is a warehouse behind my base and three power plants, meaning allied power plants, meaning those three power plants are providing the electricity that is required for the defensive buildings that is situated in front of my main base. Okay, so now I'm talking about the tournament rules. Now in this tournament, you see there's one flag and there is a bar above. You have to get 5,000 flag points, and that is equivalent to the whole filling of the whole bar. Okay, so now we're going to capture this flag, and there is only one flag, as you can see, and both players are defended with walls and defensive buildings, meaning that initially it's not even possible to have a scout unless you try to enter using a lot of assaults, like the number of assaults I have. If I'm go with this many number of assaults, then I will be able to have a scout, but with a small number of units it's not possible to have a scouting over it. Okay, here you see and warehouse and three allied power plant. Okay, now I'm discussing that when you capture the flag, you get extra 10% resource income, and while your units are within this green range of this flag, you'll get additional 15% attack power. So that's a lot. 10% resource income bonus and 15% attack bonus while you are inside the flag radius. So that might sounds like that will be a game for smaller rush units. Yes, but of course there are something also different, because uh, when one player captures the flag, the other players also will receive some benefits, and that's what the developers call humanitarian aid. In their description of the tournament, they said so, and it's going to provide you resources, resource containers, and also transports carrying resource containers. But since there is only one flag and 5,000 points required, so it's not like you're going to get it too many times. uh, right now I deliberately allowed my enemy to capture that flag so that I can show you what happens when the enemy have control over the flag. Okay, I'm going to use a few infantries to have a scout of the enemy base, and rushing with infantry is almost impossible in this tournament, because there are also walls in front of them, and when there are walls, infantries are most likely to be distracted by them, and meanwhile the defensive buildings will show its might. So rushing is probably the worst thing to do. Well, I have just sent these infantries for scouting, and I'm going to produce vertex very soon. Okay, so here you see three transport are going to enter into this warehouse, and each transport is going to provide me one resource container. One resource container for each transport, three resource containers I have received. So that's because the enemy had the control over the flag, so I got the humanitarian aid. And also that's not all. We have also received units. Here are they: hammers and assaults. And probably, very probably in late game, uh, the units that will be sent as 8 will become even larger in the late game. But since there is only one flag, this tournament is not likely to be finished very early. This tournament is likely to be finished early, not late. So we won't be able to see what happens in the late game anyway. Okay, scouting enemy base. Enemy is also having AV factory level 2 producing vertex. Okay, let's try harass them a bit. And there are all types of defensive buildings, including air defenses. And there are also power plants behind. If you somehow get them, you might be able to shut down the electric supply of all the allied enemy buildings. However, getting those 3 power plants would be definitely very difficult. You see, I'm just about to get 5,000 points. I have 4,000 flag points already, and 5,000 will be there soon. And he now has no other choice but to attack me right away, uh, because there is no time left. If I get the flag, then it's all over for him. So although you have lots of defensive fortifications, you actually don't have time to defense because you have to spend your resources on capturing the flags. There is no other way to win. So since I have control over the flag, I'm definitely going to win this, and he cannot beat me right now because the player who has control over the flag gets 15% extra attack power and 10% extra resource income. But the attack power is only effective while the units are inside the flag, not outside. And while the player who does not have the control over the flag gets humanitarian aid. That's what I showed you earlier. That's transport with resources and units. Okay, so that's all for this tournament.